What's good, YouTube? It's your girl, Miss Golden 83, and I am here to do an all my love reading for the sign of Sagittarius. Okay, Sagittarius, you guys were first during week 3 of the zodiac lineup. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. Remember, you guys, these are general messages, not personal, so take what resonates and pass the rest to the next. Okay, so let's go ahead and get into y'all's reading. Was pretty much kind of like semi on vacation, but not on vacation. Slowly getting week 3 done. Okay. So I'm kind of rolling into the next week. So I'm a little bit behind, primarily due to, other responsibilities. So sorry, you guys, it's late, but still here for you guys. Okay. So let's go ahead and get started. You should be acclimated with the All My Love readings. We're going to start with one from the top, which is for your energy, where your energy is now currently. One from the bottom, which is the energy of the situation and or person, okay? And then one energetically from the middle, which I am feeling like this one here, which is the energy between you and the situation and or person. Okay, so we'll put this one over here. These readings are of course similar to the dream catcher reads, but it is focused around love. Depending on what that love is in your life, will tap into that in your reading. Okay, so let's see what we have for you, Sagittarius. Where your energy is right now is virtue. Okay, then the energy of the situation and or person is peacefulness. Okay, that's really nice. And then the energy between you and the situation and our person is freedom. Okay, so quite a mixture here. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started with your energy being at virtue. Okay, virtue. Okay, so it says you acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. Okay, you acknowledge your loving spiritual attributes that encourage others to grow. Okay, when I hear the word virtue, I automatically hear the derivative of it, which virtuitous is what's like in the energy right now. Okay. And so, obviously, whatever it is, as far as like your maturity level, the way you handle things, it appears as though people are very encouraged and motivated by you because it's going to encourage them to be the same. Okay, and not look at things in an immature way or very childish. Okay, you may have some people around you that are a little bit childish when it comes to love or just life in general. Okay, and so you are a beacon of light where you are very virtuitous, if you will, of acknowledging what your spiritual attributes are and passing that on to other people, to hopefully make them better people at the same time. So you have a very the energy I'm feeling is just a very alluring aura around you when it comes to life in general or love. Okay, so next is the energy between, as far as the situation and or person, and it is peacefulness. Okay, peacefulness. So, peacefulness, it says you recognize that balance, kindness, and love bring calmness to your soul. Okay? You recognize that balance, kindness, and love bring calmness to your soul. Sagittarius, I will say, for you guys, it's possibly like a trait that you guys have. You really don't, even though you're a fire sign and can possibly handle conflict of any kind, you guys really don't like conflict. Okay, and so you try to avoid arguments and things of that nature. And so, whatever the situation is that you're going through right now, of course, during week 3, we kind of talked about possibly separations going on within your world right now between you and your person, and kind of going your separate ways, if you will. Okay, but it is a peacefulness around the situation because it's possibly very mutual or amicable between you and the other person. And so That's why in you're treating the situation with kindness, you're not being crass, you're not pointing fingers, you're not casting blame. You take accountability for whatever may have went wrong within the connection, okay, in which kind of again brings the other person, the opposing side, to be like, you know what, you're right, we both, kind of mess things up. They may take the time to point fingers or like to point fingers, but you are being very mature about the situation, which causes them to have to be very mature about it. And there's a peacefulness because there's a mutual understanding. And I think because of the fact that you both agree that, it's time to part ways, thus why there's this peacefulness within the situation, okay? Which is really nice, because sometimes you're not able, some people aren't able to have that type of communication with someone without, someone casting blame or being very irate and things of that nature, because they feel like that's how they have to get things across. But you are not that type of person, Sagittarius. You have a very, like I said, very alluring, loving aura about you that's very mature. And so you're not really one to throw punches. I mean, if you need to, you will, but you prefer not to. And I do like that about Sagittarius. You're a very calm natured person, normally, okay? Like I said, even though you are a fire sign, you can handle conflict, if need be. But you know when to turn it on and when to turn it off, and be professional and be kind, okay? So, very nice energy that you have here, okay? And so, lastly, the energy between you and the situation and or person is freedom, okay? It's freedom. It says you are releasing any self-imposed restrictions or perceived limitations through the loving energy of openness, okay? And so you have freed yourself of any kind of self-imposed restrictions, okay? And you're being more open and understanding of the situation between you and the person, okay, or whatever is going on around you. All right, you do not hold it. Let it be free. You're kind of in a carefree mood right now, as far as maybe with spirituality, or just as a whole with the situation, to take it as it is, and be free of it, okay, free of any, like I said, anything self-imposing, posting blame on anyone. Is just an understanding of it is what it is, okay? No need to try to poke holes through it or figure it out or ask the questions why, when you already know what it is and why things have transpired the way that they have. And so you are in a very mature headspace. I will definitely say that, Sagittarius, and that is something that I truly like to see in the energy of the collectives. So, with that being said, let's move on to what your sign is focused on right now, or possibly could be focused on. Okay, we're going to start with one from the top and one from the bottom. Now, remember, you guys, with any tarot reading, not just with mine, when you're watching readings, there is a possibility of energies, cross hairing. So you could have someone that's in a totally different collective, such as Virgos, that could have a Sagittarius placement, and this could be their part of the reading. Okay, your part of the reading for a Sagittarius sun could have been in this top spread, and now we're in the second half of the spread. So you can take both of these messages for yourself, or you can take one for yourself or one towards the situation, whichever feels that it resonates with you, whichever one you resonate with the most. All right, so let's get started with this one: karmic relationship. Okay, karmic relationship. It says fleeting triggers, turmoil, resentment, lessons, letting go, and loving you. Okay. And so, like I said before, it's a mutual kind of understanding, or you're in this very mature headspace to know that maybe the relationship was very karmic. Okay. I feel this energy of possibly the current relationship you were in kind of being compared to a previous relationship, in a sense of there were some similarities between both relationships. And so you were still maybe not completely healed from a previous relationship, and that energy kind of karmically tainted this current uh, relationship, okay? And so now it's time for you to kind of release not only what happened in the past with a previous relationship, but what has transpired with this one now, okay? Because it's karmic energy that's kind of following you, okay? And so kind of being able to identify what it is that triggered, this relationship to be karmic, is time to let go, following the freedom card here, as far as self-imposing, okay? Because there could have been flags that you probably could have noticed before getting too deep into this relationship, that you could have avoided this karmic relationship, okay? And in that sense, you take accountability for your actions of, not taking the time or turning a blind eye to something that really caused you or was going to cause you some pain, okay? And it could have possibly been avoided, okay? So now is the time to really start loving on you, realizing what it is that you want for yourself and out of your relationships. And if you want to try again with someone else, or just, spend some time to yourself. I definitely am an advocate for spending time with yourself, learning to date yourself, so that way you can kind of fine tune what it is that you're really looking for in the future when it comes to relationships. Okay, so the next card here is ascending. Okay, ascending. So it says transcending obstacles, learning, expansion, new phase, preparing for union. Okay, like I just said, you're taking the time to learn who you are, what you want, what you don't want. Okay, thus two cards. Okay, two is talking about focusing on those wants and removing what you don't want or not focusing on it. Okay, that is how you manifest forward to prepare for your next union. Okay, but your next union primarily should be with yourself. Okay, and so that way you'll be prepared to give a little bit more and still remain open to the next person that you're in a relationship with, and not carry over that karmic energy. Okay, because the next person doesn't deserve that. Okay, they have no idea what you've went through in your relationship prior. You can talk about it, but try not to dwell on it too much, as it could cause re-triggering. Okay, because whatever you start rehashing from the old and kind of sharing with someone new, you're gonna even though it's being open with them and letting them know what you've been through, it kind of poses for you to start remembering those triggers and seeing if this person is going to do them as well. Okay, and so that does put a lot of weight on someone new who's possibly nowhere near your past relationships. And so give that person a chance to show who they are and how different they are from those in the past. Okay, try to avoid comparing someone new who's you, especially if you feel this energy of them being totally different from anyone you've ever dealt with before. Okay, if you feel that energy about someone, then 9 times out of 10 your gut is right. Okay, and so just try not to nitpick a lot over a new person when you do hit that step. Okay, so next we're going to go into the romance angels, which is the outcome of the energy, which we kind of already know, but again, this could be for a separate set of Sagittarius collective, or anyone with Sagittarius placement in their chart that means a lot to them. Okay, same situation, take both for yourself, or one for yourself, or one towards a situation and or person. So the first one here is playfulness. Okay, playfulness. It says to recapture romance, allow your inner youthful spirit of fun to shine. Okay. And so, if you are already in the steps of getting back out there, dating again, things of that nature, try to incorporate a little bit of playfulness so that way this person can see your fun side, to see your softer side, so that way it's not always serious all the time. Okay. Um, that helps, especially breaking the ice and meeting someone new. Okay. Next, we have soulmate. Okay, soulmate. Soulmate says, yes, this is your soulmate. Okay, so if there is anyone in particular that you are currently talking to and you're kind of, like I said, this familiarity, where you just feel it in your gut that this person is totally different from anyone you've ever been with, then 9 times out of 10, this person is guaranteed to be your soulmate once you get rid of this karmic energy from your past relationships. Now, it is diagonal from karmic relationship, and I will say, as far as soulmate is concerned, for the others of you that are in this freedom phase right here, the freedom energy, it could be possible that this relationship or previous relationship, you thought that that person was your soulmate. Okay, and it possibly was not really a soulmate, it was a karmic. Okay, because they triggered something from a previous relationship that, again, it could have been where you got a false representation of who they were, because maybe they were putting on a front or a facade for you, in order for you to consider them, for a long-standing relationship. Okay, and so that is unfortunate. All right, and so of course that is something else that you will be looking out for, Sagittarius, when you're reconnecting with someone new. Okay, but as long as you get rid of this karmic situation, in all facets, not just the person physically, but mentally and emotionally, and make room for this potential soulmate. Okay, then there can be a true connection here. Okay, so just take one day at a time, be playful, don't rush into things, and just go with the flow. And you never know, this person is definitely possibly going to be here for the long haul. Okay, so with that being said, Sagittarius, that's all that I have for you guys today. We'll be rolling into week 1 very shortly, and then your girl will be dropping some news on my next vacation. Okay, so stay tuned for that, but until then, peace.